Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Hello guys, we're back again. The final series of the night here on the Bravo stream. I'm Durka at the JD Studios, and it's getting late. It's getting late, a little bit tired, but this best of 3 should be a cracker. EG up against LGD. These guys, they've been knocked down. SL style group stages. It's kind of like a double elimination bracket. These guys, they're the losers so far. By Monkey Business and VP. Who we're gonna see. Oh, this one. Oh, LGD against EG. My co-caster Scant is hopefully here as well. What do you think?
You and I spoke after the LGD versus Virtus Pro series and said that 2 games in a row, FNG Spirit Breaker just controlling the game, and LGD have now first banned Spirit Breaker. Not even clear on whether or not EG want to be running the hero. I think they did pick it in one of their matches today. I think they played a Spirit Breaker. But it's just a clear sign that respect for the hero. They went and thought about what happened in their first match, and they were like, we did not deal well with this hero. Let's not play against it again.
Oh. There we go. See, I'm sitting here wondering, Evil Geniuses, the AA Ember Spirit, which we've been seeing a ton of recently, you know, give the Ember over to the little old rabbit, Mr. Slim. Queen of Pain, pull a quote for Universe in the offlane. Fail. Queen of Pain, let's see how he does on this one.
Demille is so good at Queen of Pain. So good. It's actually
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's actually ridiculous. Where Vega won ESL a couple weeks ago, and they actually knocked out EG in the first round. But there was a game where Demille did everything humanly possible. He nearly carried that entire game for his team playing Queen of Pain. And it's at this point not uncommon to see him play games on Queen of Pain where the score looks something like 25-3 and 800 assists or something equally absurd to that. Very good. What a lame thing to say. He's just an exceptional Queen of Pain.
He good at Dota.
he good. It's like 5 AM and I'm just like,
yeah.
He good.
He good.
He has lots of MMR.
Other
points.
Player not so good. He very good.
I don't think he's played anything like that tonight. I mean, we didn't watch their previous series, but I feel like I know that he played Mag in one of the games. He played SF in another. I'm not sure about the third. But I don't think he played a Queen of Pain, and I think it does set a very different pace to what they're going to be doing. Also not sure if they've had the Universe Clock yet, so EG coming in with a plan for sure. LGD on the other hand, start with the Darkseid and Ember Spirits, and Ember Spirits a hero that's definitely been doing very well today. Been doing very well recently in general. It's actually a hero that got highly prioritized in the previous series between C-Deck and Cloud9, where it was first pick both games and then first ban in the third.
Very potent arrow in the right hand, so maybe. It's a style of play, Ember. He does, right?
I think he could.
It's not a, you know, stereotypical style hero, but I'm pretty sure he plays well. I'm wondering, maybe could still go for something like Shadow Fiend. You mentioned he'll go back and farm the jungle a little bit, which he like to do. But EG taking out the Rubik there. DDC or MMY getting their hands on that one. And I wonder if they focus support bans now as well, you know. Even you consider banning the Wisp, because MMY is very potent on that hero. Witch Doctor still out there as well that you could...
Radiant team ban.
Time. These are annoying little heroes that, you know, LGD very good on. I don't think you necessarily want to target ban anything against ROTK. You know, Doom is there, it's a meta ban. Tusk, annoying to handle. But right now, I think you kind of aim at either maybe or MMY.
Yeah, I mean, ROTK is probably playing the Darkseid, right?
I mean, last game we saw support Darkseid, so I'm not ruling anything out.
We did, and yeah, I guess I don't. I wouldn't want to say that MMY or DDC are not capable of doing the same things as Garda, but at the same time,
Radiant
Garda
team
is
pick.
he holds a special place in my heart at the moment.
I mean, look, they ban a Broodmother.
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, look, LGD and CDEC are. A lot of people forget they're
Dire team pick.
owned by the. I mean, LGD owns CDEC, and
Does it still?
it's yeah,
Okay.
it still does. Even since CDEC became independent and an independent name, Ruru still owns both teams, and it's conceivable that they'd be pairing together. We know that when Chinese teams go to international events, they very regularly do help one another, especially when they're not like massive events. They cheer for one another. It wouldn't be that unheard of for them to do the Darkseer
10
Brood strategy,
seconds
just
remaining.
like CDEC just did. And while
5
Garda holds a
seconds
special place in my
remaining.
heart, MMY does too. I'll be honest, I've got quite a lot of crushes when it comes to the Dota scene.
Reserve time.
All of them are Chinese.
Yeah, they're pretty much all Chinese. I don't know what that says about me, but the Lion pick will be responded to with a Lena pick.
Yeah, this is what I was going to ask. Like, with the Brood ban, I kind of feel Anti-Mage is coming,
Dire
and
team pick.
it's easy. AM, send it out to the bot lane, get it farmed up.
Yeah, it also just feels like where the draft had to be headed. With if the cores you're running are Sumail, Quap, and Universe Clock, it feels like we should expect then a very hard farming RTZ hero, and Anti-Mage is exactly that. And I believe he did play an Anti-Mage earlier. I think the one game they did win against Monkey Business was the one where he played
10
Anti-Mage.
seconds remaining.
We'll see how it gets on down there. Now, LGD.
5
It's picked up
seconds
by
remaining.
them. Still not sure where that's heading entirely yet. A lot of Chinese teams have kind of liked to play it in that 4th spot.
Reserve time.
Have a lot of CIS teams, but right here, you know, there's still Earthshaker out there is a decent support, but you want heroes that are a little more mobile. No, Earthshaker's a bit static until he gets his Blink Dagger. I guess Shadow Shaman more
Radiant
lockdown
team
even.
ban.
You know, put that Hex down onto the Anti-Mage. Now, Shadow Shaman Lina, it doesn't feel like a kind of natural support duo. You can shackle into Light Strike Array, but Shadow Shaman is very often, especially later on in the game, running around placing Serpent Wards and not necessarily going into these
10
head-on-head
seconds
clashes. I
remaining.
feel like LGD are gearing themselves up for lots of split push and lots of,
5
baiting
seconds remaining.
and running around dealing with anti-mage while also split pushing on their own.
Reserve time.
Yeah, I mean, Shadow Shaman good in several ways. It can provide that lockdown, can provide that push. I know ROTK was drafting this hero quite a lot earlier in the year for eHome when they had this kind of group up early and push strategy. So I wouldn't count out the possibility of that. I mean, it doesn't look like their draft is committed to that at all. But depending on their last pick, they might try get an early advantage and take a lot of towers. And having Shadow Shop, having a hero which just so naturally gives you that pushing power, means you don't waste time. Often when you're playing against Anti-Mage, you group up to go for a tower, Anti-Mage is split pushing somewhere else, and the trade-off is not actually positive for you in the long run because you take so long. If you have a Shadow Shaman, that's not going to happen. You're going to kill the tower really quickly. Anti-Mage will get very minimal amount of time on his own in another lane.
Dire team ban.
For Assassin, maybe getting his hands on that one. And LGD actually found out the Shadow Fiend in that second phase, but final ban here for them. What are we looking at? Final support. I'm feeling the PD
10
Lion.
seconds
It could
remaining.
still be played by Fear, but Lion was PD's hero for a long old time. Ancient Apparition, oh god.
Radiant
LGD,
team
they're having
pick.
flashbacks of that VP game, or that VP series even, of the AA Spirit Breaker charging around and killing off their cores with a couple of spots. But E, range initiation, check. Short range, medium initiation, some mobility, double blinkers, triple blinkers if Lion gets his up and running. They got tons of maneuverability, lots of lockdown, a decent amount of damage. I don't know what they need to round up. Like, their draft seemed rounded
10
already.
seconds remaining.
Maybe something with a little bit of minus armor that can help them push,
5
I think,
seconds
is
remaining.
really what you aim for here. You know, you've got hero killing power, but you don't necessarily have that hard
Reserve time.
to a tier 1 tower power. No, split push from Anti-Mage,
Yeah.
great. Split push from Queen of Pain, great. But it's that putting into towers. That's sustained from Dazzle, that's what they
Dire
need.
team
So I
pick.
guess Fear Lion and PPD Dazzle.
I wonder if LGD banning the AA is not also potentially a sign that they do want to push. It's a very good anti-push hero. It's a hero that's dominated them earlier today, but
You want Lycan again?
yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Some kind of, Lycan actually goes pretty well with Ember Spirits if you manage to make it work. That hull damage on Ember Spirits.
10 seconds
I'm not sure what
remaining.
else it could be, but I'm thinking if it is something pushy, then that's a very clear
seconds
signal with
remaining.
that AA ban, with that Shadow Shaman pickup, that actually the intention is to deal with the anti-mage is just to like pressure, and yeah,
Hey!
it's something pushy.
You're right, it wasn't the Lycan, it was the Lone Druid. Silent Lone
Wow,
Druid.
and
Oh, we were talking about his signature heroes earlier today, you know, the Morphling. Lycan. The Lone Druid, that's something that we've seen it here and there from like European teams a couple of times. Who was it that you were talking about that played it recently? Can't remember.
oh man, I'm struggling to remember now as well, but there was
Was it an NA team?
I think it's
Like
man,
we've seen it as one-offs every now and then. It's definitely
this
not
is gonna
been...
bother me. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up.
It hasn't been like a flavor of the month or anything. It's just like, oh,
10
Lone Druid
seconds
could work here.
remaining.
We've got a player that likes Lone Druid. Let's go with it. Let's do this. I know
5
that Lemon
seconds
Dogs has done it once or twice, but that's they have they've got Krilly, the old Lone Druid player.
Oh, it was Black actually. Black played it for Fnatic recently. That's what I saw.
There was something else.
Prepare
Definitely something else.
battle.
So in this patch, No-Tails played it, Bulldogs played it, Ritsu played it once, Iwo played it, KYXY, Black. Those are the ones that I could find. It's quite a bunch of players, but yeah, it's definitely a throwback for Sylar. And I always liked that it was one of his signature heroes because like the hero is also historically known as the Scylla Bear, and he's Sylar, and
Goes together.
yeah.
He doesn't have a funny name bear though. He doesn't actually have any cosmetics. Why doesn't he have a? Does he just like the normal bear?
Yeah, I think some people think that the custom bears are pay to lose. They're more obvious,
30
and
seconds to
some of them
battle.
really do seem like bigger or more standouts to me.
Some of them are pay to win though. Well, especially for a period of time, the red panda one hitbox was only half of the bear. The
Yeah,
front
it's
half of the
difficult to
bear
click
you
on.
could click on. The back half you couldn't touch it. Stop. So, Universe. Oh, wait a second. But before I forget, I'm going to close the bloody cosmetics window. I've done that before. I've left it open for like 20 minutes before and just not realised late at night.
The battle begins.
Down a bot. Oh, it's a good old Dragon Slave there from DDC across the bridge. It's up at top. Clockwork gets the bounty rune. Ember Spirit gets the one down at bottom. But the Universe Clock up at top against Sylar. 1v1, Lone Druid. Aggressive tri-lane maybe here. DDC. Lena with RTK Darkseer. And who's left over? MMY, Shadow Shaman. Oh, the old Ember Spirit mid. They've got an aggressive Observer Ward looking over the cliff first. Shady. Little old Sumail playing the Queen of Pain getting zapped down already. But safely in tri-lane. PPD. Fear, Dazzle, and Lion. RTZ himself on the anti-mage. It's an
Nice.
aggressive dual lane, actually.
I think Lena's here just to help Darkseer get level 2.
Still difficult. Oh, look at that, honestly. Demolished.
I very much expect DDC to leave once RTK has level 2. I'm not completely sure. Maybe he even leaves right now. It doesn't seem like long-term the kind of aggressive dual lane you'd usually run. Darkseid does sometimes need a little shepherding just in those early levels.
Middle lane, how's that going? Ember Spirit 2 and 2, Quick Pain 3 and 2, nothing out of the ordinary there. A couple of knives coming out for some mail on his mid Queen of Pain, but this matchup's going to be pretty interesting to watch. While down at bottom lane, look, PPD and Fear are sitting so high up on this lane, just wailing down. This little old Darkseer. Gonna hammering, and now he might actually die. Fear's here, waiting, holding with the stun. Yeah, he's only level 1. Doesn't have the stun and the hex, and PPD only has that Shadow Wave as well. So damage output not going to be amazing. While back up the top, Universe 6 is zapping. MMY, Shadow Shaman's returned to his lane. I really like this. Fear and PPD, they know that stacking and pulling is not going to do anything for them. They're guaranteeing farm for the anti-mage. They're stopping the Darkseer from throwing down as many iron shells as he wants. And Arteezy, he's doing perfectly fine now. Last thing on the tower, controlling lane equilibrium. It's really beautiful play to watch. I wonder though, the way that they're not getting levels, the way that they're not stacking and pulling and building up for themselves, may be worrisome as the game progresses. But if we're able to status quo as it is, saying they're a pretty good advantage.
Yeah, it's definitely correct that both of the supports stayed there while Lena was there. If one of them tries to zone Darkseer alone. Darkseer plus Lina just destroys that hero and then starts to zone out the anti-mage of his farm. So I think they made the right decision, and I do still maintain that we're gonna probably won't see Lina going back to that bot lane now. Although I'm not completely sure because it's not that clear that she gets that much done in other places.
Yeah, it's like kind of awkward with the Shadow Shaman Lina. See, at level 1, Shadow Shaman doesn't have the disables, you know. You need the shackles, you need a hex or something to set up the LSA. But Lina doesn't have that. She's Dragon Slave and she's not going to hit level 2 anytime soon either. So I don't think she can do anything anyway. Maybe you act as like a Skyrath or, you know, a Nagas Aran and move towards mid. Spam out onto Sumail. Farming. Give Ember a bit of a better time.
Yeah, otherwise Shadow Shaman I feel like either with Lina or on his own, if he picks up a smoke once he has the points in shackles, actually a really strong hero early on for making those kills. Whether you gank into just the lane that you're actually at, try to get to that mid lane. Obviously if ganking into mid lane is not hard at all actually. Ember Spirit's got, maybe he's got slides and double flame guard, but as soon as he gets the Searing Chains, if he lands the chains as you run into the shackle, it's very possibly a kill. And interesting, I've been that early point in the slide. I was actually watching the mid lane earlier. Maybe he's been trying to dodge the shadow strikes. I think he's dodged at least 2 already. So doing a good job about this lane. He's still behind, but it's a lane that he's expected to be behind in.
Ah, not bad. Speed does take a shadow strike now. Flame guard up, so it should be okay for a while at least. But look at this. RGK is like, screw bottom lane, guys. I'm gonna go into the jungle. I've got my stout shield. I need to get my soul ring. And then I'll head down there. So the plan to stop and limit the farm for RTZ has... For now, it's come to a halt. Not able to do it just yet. DDC will stack up a camp for them.
There's that smoke on DDC as well, which is almost certainly going to join up with MMY, because I don't see him smoking anywhere on his own and getting anything done.
Apparently Miracle has been given carry or mid Earthshaker over in the other game.
Oh, that's interesting. I guess there's people in the chat watching both games at once.
Yep. Getting all my updates from LG chat. Yeah, Sylar. He's keeping up with the farm. He's done a good job up here. The one big difference, obviously, is the difference between offlaners. You know, Universe 6 and 2, the Darkseer 7 and 0, but the levels, not easy. See where he goes for. Poor Man Shield. It's usually like Poor Man Shield, Quelling, Ring of Health, go into the treads, see how things go. Try and get into your Battle Fury as quickly as you can. I wonder here though, with the amount of money he's saving up, you know, waiting to see, yeah, he finishes off. Goes into Quelling Blade and Ring. He doesn't need Poor Man Shield just yet. He'll have enough money to go back into it if he does, but mainly that's to deal with the dark
mid lane.
Oh god, they found him. Sumail, good call. Dead to the gank forward. Yes, did Sumail blink aggressively forward?
I don't believe that he did. Not sure. It didn't look like he could blink out to me. He got caught out by maybe at the end of a creep wave. The chains. And after that there's the stun, Dragon Slave, and actually what finished him was Slice of Fist. A little bit of extra damage as I think he was going to blink away. But it's actually good because I was concerned that DDC wouldn't be able to make a rotation into the mid lane on his own, and succeeds in doing that even without MMY. Pretty impressive.
Maybe he just stands his ground and says, come on, fail. Level 5 Quap. 5 Ember Spirit, but Flame Guard is up in time. He's got no mana for the chains. Why, maybe. Maybe. He's dead here. He's actually just gonna die. What was that move forward?
I guess he didn't anticipate that his Flame Guard would get completely burst down by the Scream. And he's like running in thinking, I've got Flame Guard on me, I'm gonna go for a kill. Didn't have Flame Guard on him, it went on and off pretty much instantly. And
he didn't have mana for chains. Like I thought he was gonna go in, chains, run back. He didn't have mana for it. Instantly gives a kill straight back. You know, we talk about Sumail winning disadvantage matchups, coming back into a lane he's lost, but that was maybe handing it to him on a silver platter. I was looking at the levels and thinking, okay, maybe gets level 6 before the Quap, so that means that the Quap is not going to have her ulti before Remnant's down. Now they're looking for the kill back under the Queen of Pain. The dynamics are shifting, but Blink is available. Scream, Blink back, and maybe they look for the Sonic Wave return.
Yeah, and I think because maybe he's gone for that 2-1-2 build, which is not the most usual build, that's the reason. I mean, if he had 3 points in Flame Guard, his Flame Guard wouldn't have gone off immediately.
Yeah. Maybe that's it. Experience. Realizing. Fear. Into RTK. He's got the stun, he's got the hex. Be okay. Arteezy can come back. Oh, pings come out. Fear's like, hey, look, this shouting god running me down. Do something about it. Even maybe he's coming across here. Level 6, the lawnmower cometh, but they see everything coming. EG, that observer ward will give them full vision and full knowledge of evil at their own jungle.
And very interesting to me the way MMY has been prioritizing just getting these pulls off, getting his levels, and again it speaks to the fact that the major plan for fighting against anti-mage this game is just to push. That's what I think. Because Shadow Shaman is definitely a hero that could be involved in these early smoke rotations. And it seems like deliberate that MMY's not done that well. His life might be in danger here. This is a hasted Sumail who misses the scream.
With that scream, they would have secured a kill. Scream, Sonic Wave, Rocket Flare. There's no hook shot on Universe just yet, but they wouldn't need it. They've got the damage output, and I've really enjoyed watching people copy Moon Meander with his Clockwork build. I don't know who did it first. The first person I saw really, utilize it consistently was Moon Meander, going for the 1-1-4 build. And everyone's kind of followed suit, realizing that the magic damage you get, the farm speed you get, and the ability to shove waves pretty hard, oh good,
Thou art
is incredibly strong compared to the potential for kills that you maybe get on a support that might come to. It's so much more consistent, guaranteed.
Oh, I gotta say, we talked about Silas Lone Druid not having a custom Spirit Bear, but his custom ulti animation is like one of the really creepy ones. He really looks like a, I don't know, some kind of sex offender.
He's huffing and puffing.
He doesn't look like someone you trust your children with.
Why is he so thin at the bottom?
Yeah,
he missed leg day like 7 years ago. Bloody hell. Oh, maybe DDC, they are going for a smoke gank. I'm gonna water away. Try and find someone, but who is that someone gonna be? Server ward watching out for the ancients. Oh goodness. Still going for the 8-minute rune, there's nothing there. Maybe he's already taken this. Universe under the tower, they're shoving hard into the wave. Looking Clockwork, and they'll find him. AB invis rune. Here we go. Hex chains, shackle up, and magic damage to the stuns. Take down the little claptrap guy.
Tower for sure, and that's without the Shadow Shaman's level 6. So what we were calling earlier in the year pseudo death ball, so it begins. And that's almost certainly what this is. And they've got backup plan of Ember and all the heroes. They drop skills really well. But being able to apply this pressure, the anti-mage base draft is definitely invaluable. So I don't think it'll take, I think basically a matter of time. As soon as MMY gets his level 6, we'll see another rotation for the tower coming out of LGD.
TZ is fully free farming here though.
denied.
He's got treads, full man shield. He's got the extra ring of regen, which is obviously nice against the Darkseer. Turn you up in between these iron shell spams, running little creeps. Pain farming through a little stack here though of herself. Yeah. Pain get herself up into. Oh, what? You got Orchid? I think Orchid's pretty good against Darkseer and Ember, but like you're saying, if the push comes thick and fast, that Aghanim Scepter, just to slow things down a little bit, could be vital.
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. She needs the Aghanim Scepter because there's going to be that pushing pressure on them early on. And I think at this point it's barely obvious. This Lone Druid, even when he just stands still, the way he walks, the way he stands, I don't know, it's just, the model's ridiculous.
Well, they clear through a couple of stacks here. Maybe gets himself a nice bit of gold with ROTK as well. But they're still sitting a fair distance behind the co-op and the anti-mag, you know? It's, yeah. MMY up at top, Sonic Wave at the ready. Sumail, you're the kill. There with a juicy kill onto that Shadow Shaman, who hit level 6, has the Serpent Wards, and also has enough money for Arcane Boots if he wants. What I'm wondering, he saved up enough. He held on to that wave as long as he could, waiting to see how much he can save. Rushing Ags is a possibility, Blink Dagger is a possibility. Arcanes is going to be good for the sort of board you get, especially when Lina doesn't have anything to call her own, you know? They've kind of given away a lot of the farm for the support over to the Shadow Shaman and did the Lina somewhat.
Dire's bottom tower is under
so
attack.
In my experience, Chinese Shadow Shamans try their best to rush Blink if they can.
Is under attack.
Very, very highly valued. But I agree with you. Arcane Boots is definitely a possibility when you're trying to group up and push, and even Ags could be good. They're smoking this bot lane. They've just lost Sylar, and they're hoping to get RTZ in return.
Oh, there we go. He can't blink. Blink's on cooldown still. They get the Hex, the stun, the shackles, the damage is here, but the Grave equally here. And RTZ can blink away. He gets himself to safety. Back into the trees. The vacuum is available. RTZ walls. He's got the back, but he can't see him. Anti-Mage is there. Finally, they kill him off. A 2-for-1 with Sylar did die off at the top lane. But they get the tower as well, which is something that LGD are very good at. Turning kills into towers and objectives.
Yeah, it's actually, it turns out Dazzle comes in to save Anti-Mage, ends up just dying as well. Turns out to be really bad for EG. I do wonder if maybe RTZ could have blinked in a different direction, might have been able to escape, but yeah, it's a tough one. Working out for LGD, I would say. And for now, for EG, I think even though RTZ's been farming well, the big positive for them is Sumail. Sumail's doing really well, and he might be able to have something to say about, you know, controlling the tempo of the game early on. But right now, he's getting entangled by Sylar's Spirit Bear.
Gets the rune. Our Ogre Club first is kind of interesting, because Point Booster first, you know, indicates Ag himself. So Ogre Club could still mean Ags, but usually means BKB rush.
Dire's top tower is under
attack. It does, doesn't it? I still feel like it needs an Ags, but I mean, BKB rush is also kind of a brawling, get up in your face. Cop and Clockwork are just going to go at you when you try and push. In the mid lane, PPD is huge trouble again. That's a haste rune, he's definitely dead.
Maybe even throws the chains down to secure it. Making damn sure he dies. Up at top, Fear and Sumail. Fear has done a great job getting himself gold, up to 1500. But look at this tower after tower. They know what they want, they know they're going to get it, and Sylar, not messing around. Not going for the Radiant build, going straight into Maelstrom.
Yeah, and now with all the tier 1s down on EG, and all the tier 1s up for LGD, LGD get a lot more control over the map. They get to limit Anti-Mage's farming, and it won't be too long before they stop pushing for the tier 2s.
Are they going for this one? The Mail doesn't have Blink, they've got the chains, and they actually search forward MMY, not in time! A Hex out of range.
Does have ulti up again though, so I wonder where MMY goes with this.
In 100 gold he's got Blink as well.
It's pretty incredible actually. So just sitting tight early on, doing a lot of pulls, not avoiding those deaths, kill a few tier 1s with your team, and suddenly you have a Blink dagger.
Sumail is definitely going for that BKB. Mithril Hammer's picked up. Yeah, trying to farm into his Blink Dagger, but Universe actually limited on farm himself. You know, this offlane, it went decently for levels, but he hasn't been able to farm stacks or find kills. And the kills obviously is the more important one as a Clockwork. You want to be initiating, opening things up, and getting the rest of your team as active as you possibly can. As they find DGC, and they will secure themselves the kill. 3 goes the way of Sumail, and can they take a tier 1? I don't think they can, because they're going to lose Fear here. Oh, good stuff. Good Earthblight. Clutches 3 for 1. Hello, Sylar. First hit and tangle, thank you very much.
You know how many times he's done that this game actually? I'm sure EG's talking about this right now. I think I saw him attack the Queen of Pain probably 3 times and first did entangle him as well. And they're for the kill where it matters as well. So yeah, one of those things, we talk a lot about Spirit Breaker RNG these days. Lone Druid's been out of the meta for a long time, but when Lone Druid's in the meta, that's people about first did entangles.
They can't stop it. Serpent Walls with the bear, the iron shells and everything. Right, stop from taking Roshan. So what's that? 1445. Roshan goes, and LGD not only good at taking towers, you know, good at taking other objectives as well. Taking down falls, and they go straight back to farming. How are we looking overall? LGD have got themselves 3-4k net worth lead. Nothing massive, nothing insurmountable here for Evil Geniuses. When they've got Anti-Mage, Queen of Pain, heroes that can become very active at, you know, the flick of a switch. When they have one item, all of a sudden they go from being, you know, a dozing little kitten to being a roaring tiger.
Yeah, the concern really is where is that turning point? Priority is meant to be Sumail's BKB. That's where EG is willing to take some fights. I don't think the Anti-Mage is going to be responsible for that turning point. But consider the way the game's going. LGD are going to go through the tier 2s, all 3 of them, in the next 5 minutes or so. And if they're allowed to do so, and have that 6-tower advantage and complete map control, suddenly the game looks very difficult for EG. So I think EG needs to be planning some kind of turning point to get tower trades. Maybe they start with the tier 1 top. That's something already.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Get a few tower trades and maybe win 1 or 2 fights. That would give them plenty of breathing room and then EG look really good. But if they lose all their tier 2s and get just this 1 tower and a bit of farm on the anti-mage, it's already not good enough for them.
Look at how aggressive the warding is out from LGD. One very high in the top lane, so they saw the movement forward. They knew exactly what RTZ and PPD were doing. Moving on to the top tier 1. And they've also got some incredibly aggressive wards and
bottom tower is under attack.
G wards down on bottom lane. 2 sentries miss out on the observer ward there, and that's a mistake. That's honestly a big error, not catching that. But we'll get the tier 2. A minor trade for EG, but still gold lining their pockets nonetheless. And that's Battle Fury done. With a headdress and treads for RTZ's anti-mage.
And he's going to be creep cutting as well, just trying to get as much pressure in as he can. Sumail and RTZ intelligently enough farming the enemy side of the map. They know that their side of the map's not safe at the moment. It's actually a blink dagger up now on Fierce Lion. So there's certainly some potential with the blink on the Lion and the BKB on the Queen of Pain and soon to be a Blade Mail on Clock. There's some potential for fighting actually from the EG side. And it's going to be interesting to see what window they choose. If they decide to initiate on LGD as they're grouping up for a tower, or if they try and get a pick off in between the group tower movements.
Fail. Cliff jungling. They know you're up there, and MLG gets the hex. Okay, well, we'll have this kill, thank you very much, with the Serpent Wards down. Bloody hell.
Yeah, overstaying is welcome a bit. I think that eventually LGD were going to realize that, hey, everyone's farming our jungle. Let's go take a look there. And I guess it's probably better that Sumail goes down than if it was RTZ. So that's maybe one consolation. There's another tier 2 mid lane going down.
Easy stuff. RTK is a guy that we haven't looked at. He's got Greaves. 80 Greaves. They're pushing tier 3, like without a shadow of a doubt.
Top tower is under attack.
This is crazy. They've got Blink Lion over on EG. They've got Rocket Flares, Hook Shots. They've got Waves, Weaves, and Graves. I think the push from LGD is so difficult.
MMY standing up here saying, RTZ, if you show here, I can hex you. And anyone could TP in the time of hex and shackles, so RTZ has to actually run away from the Shadow Shaman.
Little Shadow Shaman. Aggressive smoke here, desperate smoke from Evil Geniuses, looking for something RTK. Hookshot comes his way. Universe not going to miss that one. Straight line easy. Take down the docks here. He dropped this wall there, and I wonder if that's an overextension of his anger for being caught. Because there's no reason to drop your wall there. No one's coming in to save you.
Yeah, there's no reason, but it also doesn't matter. LGD are in a really good position right now, I think. And speaking of which, MMY has actually caught out RTZ and there's support coming in right here.
Oh, you're right. They've got him chain stunned into oblivion. And this DDC Lina in the 4-roll. In Europe, we see such greedy 4-roll Linas, you know? They play like a Visage or an AA. They sit on the lane, they farm, they get their Yules, their Ags, their Blinks, their stuff like that. But fear of bot lane, the line with a Blink, you can't move, you're ensnared up, and then Mjolnir is finished on the Spirit Bear. Charging you down, it's disgusting.
Yeah, as you were about to say, I think about DDC's Lina, it's actually quite impressive. It's like he's been on demand all game. But as soon as someone else goes for a kill, he'll be there to do the follow-up stun and Dragon Slave. And you're right, European Lina's very often greedier in terms of their build, and also in terms of trying to go for players on their own instead of just being the follow-up. Just kind of like the more traditional, historical, when Lina used to be picked long ago, would always be picked as a follow-up stun after a setup, and that's exactly how it's being used here. Follows the Shadow Shaman or follows the Ember Spirit.
PPD, casual bracer, he knows the storm is coming. The quiet hasn't lasted long. LGD grieves up. And they've lost their Aegis, but with the Serpent Ward, is that level 2 Serpent Ward? Oh no, he's so close to level 11. Really maybe could have waited, but they wanted to go now. Up to RTK, ETM jumped in and oh, here we go, Sumail, Sonic Web across 3 of them with a BKB up, they can't focus him down. And in jumps the man avoiding RTZ, clears up 2, looking for the third, Father has his bear, but it's too far behind. They don't have maybe Ember Spirit cleaving through anybody, now he's stunned up. They went for the aggressive push up, but they've been wiped. They get the tier 3.
Yep.
That is demolition from Evil Geniuses.
It's so big, and honestly, a big part of that is that LGD, I think, did not expect for a second G would go on them. I think they went in thinking, these guys are terrified of our push, they're not going to know what to do. And EG had been planning it for what seems like the whole game. The fact that Mail rushes the BKB is very indicative of that, I think.
Yeah.
They've been planning that there's going to be a point at which we have to fight, and we're going to just pounce on them. And yep, they win that fight. It's a very, very big deal at this point. And I think it does a lot to equalize the game. I'd put LGD still a bit ahead, but much.
Yep. Light Striker ready to vacuum, that's not how the combo works. Now at this point as LGD, you've knocked on the door, knocked down the door, now what's waiting is the living room. Front room with a TV in it, you know, the stereo system. Go in, try and nick their stuff, or do you wait it out? Scope the place out. Try and get a top tier. Try and get top tier 2. Right now, there's no glyph. You could potentially go in with sub builds up in 25 seconds.
Oh, the pick off bot lane.
Jumping down bot lane, yep, you know. They're gonna go for PBD instead. The easier kill. No buyback available on your Dazzle. Maybe this is where they enter. Both lanes at once.
Shadow Shaman's got ulti in 15 seconds. And I think it's mostly just important that RTK doesn't get picked off like he did in the last push. If he's not the one who gets killed first, it's actually just huge, the impact that he can have on the fight. Because he got... Well,
they're going same position again, exactly the same. Hook shot, this time onto DDC, not RTK. So they've got the vacuum wall, and the male BKB, it's wearing thin. Bring the bear back, but they've already taken down that one melee rank. Range ranks are going to fall shortly after. Meanwhile, agent are destroying towers. Tier 2 up at top drops down, but LGDs are not done just yet. The hook shot's down for half a minute. And they'll clear out this creep wave down the bottom lane and look for the tier 3 as well.
I think they should be done. I think this is greedy. RTK doesn't have his Greaves up yet. They don't have Resta ulti.
The back wall, Greaves in 10. It's greedy, but I think it's borderline. Like, it's not overtly greedy. It's not putting themselves in harm's way that much. Now they see the front line, though, of the DD Queen of Pain actually moving towards them. That's when they realize it's time to back up.
Yeah, I think it's the straightforward approach is to wait for the next rush, pick up a few new items on whoever's got the gold, and then just go for the second set of racks. And I think, honestly, LG are in a pretty good position to force that. And EG are going to have to do what they did in that first base defense. Especially now that Sumail's picked up that Orchid. EG are going to have to just preempt them. Because if you wait for Spirit Bear to be attacking your base and the Rasta wards to be up, you're going to lose too much even if you win the fight. So you kind of need to see LGD coming and just preempt them. And that's what they're doing here with the smoke gank. Try to get ahead of the rush or the next push or something like that.
Quick look at the graphs though. When you see people taking racks at, like 20 minutes or so, you expect the sudden incline from, 5,000 net worth lead to 10,000. The sudden spike of like 5k. Oh, we'll come back in a second. RTK, Orchid up, Slim Shady. BKBs and Queen of Pain is now on the retreat. Doesn't want to get ensnared and tangled and rooted by the Spirit Bear. Actually, Emma Spirit. Forward, slight chains. Mel's been caught. One ensnare and that'll secure the kill. Guess what? Tyler bloody well gets it.
Roshan will be up very soon.
15 seconds.
It's,
what was I saying before? Oh my god, it's so late. I was making a point about something. Oh yeah, gold lead. When a team takes, you expect them to do like 4,000, 5,000, 7,000, whatever, net worth ahead. Then they take racks and they suddenly burst towards 10k. Here, because LGD lost that fight up mid, they're trying to recoup the gain they had before. Now they're only sitting at a 5,000 net worth lead short. Their items, they've got some big key items. But experience is actually going the way of evil geniuses. So the dynamic is going to be that, oh god, RTZ jumps forward, they've got the Grave of the Universe, but Fia's dead already. RTZ, you've got to run, you're going to get ensnared and tangled. He doesn't get the proc. With Lion and Quap both dead for a decent amount of time. Tier 3, Serpent Wars drop, this is the problem. You might have a gold deficit of only 3,000, you might have an experience lead over on an EG, but it doesn't matter if the heroes are destroying you. Time and time again, maybe Sar's up in the blade mail there, forced out by his teammate. And RTZ blinked into the cog. They'll try and take down the Serpent Wards, but Slim 80 for Mail, graved into the duration of the Hex, and they can't finish him off just yet. Can't finish the racks either. These RTZ illusions, chasing down MMY.
But if they can retreat, they will definitely get rush. I mean, I don't think there's a good way for EG to get rush, and it's not even that easy for EG to try contest, so it's almost a foregone conclusion that LGD get it. And then the next time they push, those two Raxes are dead. Just, they have an Aegis, it's absolutely guaranteed. I just can't see those Raxes surviving against an Aegis push.
Maybe he's done an amazing job, honestly, without having any, big items. He's got Battle Fury, no Desolator, no Maelstrom, nothing that we've seen in the past from Ember Spirits if they do push early. Could have expected maybe to throw a Maelstrom just to help a little bit. He's going for the security. Going for the security of the late game a little bit here. Tanking up. Ultimate Orb. What do you reckon? Lincoln's or Sardi? Manta. Manta against the Orchid.
I think it's a Manta. It's also more of a pushing item. And it's kind of a balance between the Lincolns and the Skadi in terms of really expensive and just like pure defensive. Interesting to see that LGD are smoking up and not going straight to rush. I guess they expect EG to be coming out to fight them for rush, and they just want to take the fight.
Oh, they're going to find it. VOT's forward, maybe. Sees Universe, but he also sees Fear over on the side. Back into Tane. And Sumail jumps forward. He's got the Orchid down to maybe, force down back with the Greaves as well, healing them all up. And they've got no ulti, there's no Sonic Wave, there's nothing to do. Maybe he's going to jump himself back and forth and run away. Sumail's now caught with no BKB, hexed and shackled and Arteezy. He gets the Mana Void, catches two, but LGD have already destroyed them in this team fight. Arteezy, the anti-mage, blinks away back to safety. I wonder though, does this stop the push? Does this stop Roshan?
Really ought not to, although I'm not sure. LGD have a lot of information. They still have a ward in the enemy base plus a whole creep wave.
Tower is under attack.
Actually, I gotta say, the position EG's in, that's about as good as they can hope for to have in a fight. They killed two cores, they lost a corner support. Anti-mage got it out alive. Felt like it was quite good for LGD, but Arteezy did a really good job in that fight, just skirting around the edges, got a really good mana void off eventually, got out alive. I do think that, I don't know, I feel like there's pretty much no drawback for LGD just going for the rush. I'm not completely sure what they're concerned about. Should favor them to take a fight to the pit if that does come up. Surely with the darks here.
Arteezy, 5-2 and 2. 1,200 gold saved up after Vlad's Battle Fury and Manta style. Now, next up on his list, what do you reckon? Because, Basher Abyssal could be good. Butterfly is probably going to be great here. But, how do you feel about, the heart to tank yourself up?
Again, I sort of feel like BKB is the item you have to go for if you feel like you have to be fighting. I'm not too sure. Again, depends on the urgency. If the fight, if he feels forced to fight very soon, he just gets that BKB. If he thinks he can farm a bit longer, he might get the hearts of the butterfly.
Arteezy's up at the top. There are only one racks down. Tier 3, of course, is down at bottom lane, but they've secured a good foothold here around the Roche pit. And in charge, LGD. Oh god, they really want in. Hookshot into the back, actually catching out MMY. Forces out, but the rest of the fight over in the front line, Sylar, he's being shredded and his bear along with him. As the jump forward, in goes Sumail with a Sonic Wave and they're clearing him up. They've got two, they've got a couple here, but TZ's dead. Why is the only one to fall? It looked like they had them trapped and in their palm. But Sumail escapes, Lion dies. 3 for 1, MMY the only casualty.
Yeah, they committed so much actually to killing MMY. It was first the hook in, and then he forces himself out. And then they try burst him and Doxy heals him. This is now a rush, and that really does mean if everyone's healed up and they have all their spells and LGD push with the Aegis, I really think that's those bot racks is finished. There'll be one side left.
The Greaves really make it there for LGD. The Sonic Wave, the Scream, all great from Sumail. Mana Void, great. The jump forward, great. But the Greaves just keeps them alive so much longer. I honestly thought that 3 would die almost instantly from LGD. They jumped in and found the opening to that team fight. RTK, back, Wolves, Greaves. It's everyone alive and healthy.
Yep, and there's a reason he rushed them. By the way, MMY is more than halfway to an Aghanim Scepter. Which you gotta feel could be just the final straw
the nail in the
if he
coffin.
gets there.
Oh, maybe he won't even get there. The game might even end before that. Aegis up on maybe. For Spirit. In forward for the hunt. EG, defensive positioning.
Visible Lina could find an initiation, actually breaks the invis to put some wards up. There's PPD on the side.
Oh, the hook onto, and he clogs the anti-mage in! That's tilting. That's tilting. DDC will get finger down by Fear though, maybe. chasing down after PPD and jumps some mail. He's not got a Sonic Wave though, with the Orchid up and the Scream's back, Lina by his back. Ghost Armor's already dead, and maybe he's got the Aegis, so he's just gonna go in, tank up the damage while Styler comes in from the side, looking for the ensnare, looking for RTZ, gets that, ensnare, not no pocket just yet. Mail blinks back, but that's good James, onto 2. Both of them are caught. But LGD, you don't want to force the issue here. You don't want to press in too far.
I think EG outplayed LGD pretty severely in this fight.
Even with the hook and cogs.
Even with that bad start, even though LG end up getting a couple of kills at the end, it's... I mean, I've been saying the whole time with the Aegis, they're just gonna definitely get those Raxes, and the Raxes didn't even get touched.
To go up.
Yeah, Lina got burst down without doing much, and then Shadow Shaman got burst down with just about only ulting. Did he actually ulti? I don't know if he did. His ulti was actually used to rush, maybe. I'm not I don't know if he ultied in that fight. The Shadow Shaman?
I don't know. I don't think so. I am having difficulties remembering what happened like 2 minutes ago.
Yeah, I know the feeling. It's the time of day.
Yeah, just so you know, guys, we're not in New Orleans. We're not at 11 PM or whatever it is. It's closing on 6 AM. It's it's been a long ride. It's been a long ride. So apologies for Failfish T-Tour's camera work and nonsense being gobbled out. It's been interesting. It's been interesting.
We're mostly saying relevant words, but Dota 2.
Mostly relevant words. Dota 2 is a video game. Anti-Mage is a hero in said video game. Arteezy is playing said hero in said video.
And it looks like LG just wanted to like back off a bit, cool it a bit, just recognizing that they don't want to lose control of the game completely. It's a game that they're quite firmly in control of, and there's a bit of a slip up with them trying to finish off those bot Raxes, and they regroup, they've smoked up, and they're going to look for a pick off maybe before they go again.
Yeah, you're right. Arteezy. Manta to get out of the root, but you don't have Manta to get out of the Hex, and they're gonna TP straight on in. Shackle, bash, oh god, the Grave! TPD! He graved them up, he can blink away, oh, the Yule Scepter. Friendly or enemy? Well, regardless of that, Remnant will finish him off. Where the hell was TPD?
Unless TZ had his own Yules, it probably had to be enemy. I don't know where PPD was as well. That's a really good question because he like graved out of I don't know where.
Graved
just TP'd himself
the hell out.
Yeah. But there is a buyback on a TZ, and in this case I feel like he'd be happy to use it if he thinks they'll win a fight. And yeah, his teammates have smoked up. They're gonna take the fight. He's probably gonna buy back.
They're gonna jump in on the back. Yep, MMY's the catch again. The rogue shot, finger of death will land onto him. Sonic Wave. Pretty good across them all, but I don't know about this. The Manaboy doesn't do a damn lot. As RTK's got the ball down, the vacuum. But LGD, who's this on the back end? DDC, oh god, you're Roger, you are dead, man.
Nice.
And this is 2 fights in a row. EG pick off the supports without them casting any spells. Sure, it took a buyback, and that means if LGD get another pick off on RTZ in the next, what is it, 6 minutes? Yeah, in the next 6.5 minutes, they pretty much win the game. That's the risk that RTZ had to take, I think. And we have seen that there's a weakness in LGD's draft, that they have this jump ability with Clockwork, Lion, Anti-Mage, and Queen of Pen. They can all jump on you. And it means that they can really just get onto the supports, and Lina and Shadow Shaman can go down without casting any spells, and all of a sudden, a lot of the utility's gone. I don't think, I mean, as strong as Darkseid, Ember Spirit, and Lone Druid are, they're not really a team on their own. There's like missing gaps in terms of what they can actually do in the fight.
Yeah, they're just pushing straight in. Like, there's no subtlety, there's no nuance to their strat. They push and they push and they push, and they do get a kill up at top here. A little bit too far up on top lane.
Theo was doing there, yeah, it's where you wanted to be. In a room alone with the Ember Spirit, who, by the way, I mean, it's not just that he didn't rush Battle Free, he's like screwed Battle Free this game. He's gone Manta and now he has a Basher.
Why the hell not?
And I guess if the game goes long enough, that'll be an Abyssal Blade and it'll be an extra tool for just winning those fights.
Yeah. Killing Anti-Mage, stopping it. Yeah, the fact that LGD is kind of predictable in their movements. They send the Shadow Shaman forward to place wards down, then they have him back up, or they have him sitting at the back of the fight. At any given point, you know where the Shadow Shaman's going. He's either going to be at the very front or the very back. To either throw Serpent Wards down or counter-initiate with the Blink Hex. So Universe has been very good with his rocket flares scouting out Shadow Shaman. And they just jump in, 3 heroes onto 1. Get the target they need, and the scary thing is for LGD is that they have so much potential shooting power on this support hero. The MMY Rasta. Look, straight in! Rocket flare onto MMY. The captain for like the 4th fight in a row. Sonic Wave across, but I don't know about this. The cogs block him off. In comes Arteezy again. The Mystic. Oh, the Mana Void doesn't do too much, but it has stopped the push in. It's winning this fight. RTK dies to a couple of swipes here from Arteezy. A couple of hits even with a rocket flare that'll secure a gem on the deck from DBC. They're in trouble. Dead. Gone. Push quelled once again. LGD, I think they might have lost this.
LGD, I mean, they're really not learning, are they?
Go in, go in, go in.
Trying to think of a nice way to say it, but they're just not learning. Because EG have presented the exact same approach to defending their base every single time. We're gonna try and pick off here right at the start. They try to pick off the Darkseer, but more recently it's always been Shadow Shaman, Lina. We're just gonna jump on their supports. We're gonna kill them, not let them get anything done. And I mean, MMY actually has a blink and a force staff, so there really isn't a reason for him to stand at the front when they push. He can be pretty far back, let Lone Druid run at the front, and then blink in and drop his wards. So I just wonder whether LGD can keep cool heads. Earlier on I said that that's something that they seem to be doing after the first failed attempt at push, but now I'm not too sure. They need to just take a step back, look at what's been going wrong, figure out what they want to do, because I think they're still in a pretty dominant position to win this game. But if they were to lose 2 more fights, they're losing. They're like definitely losing. Maybe even 1 more fight. They get wiped.
I think one more, 3, 4 kills against LGD. If this Lone Druid, Ember and Darkseer die again in the next fight, I think EG just go and take it. Next Roshan, we find out he's coming up soon. Coming up.
And if EG ever get a return Rax, it's like the game almost feels, in big trouble for LGD, because they're playing a lot on this pressure. To be honest, it's not obvious to me that EG just win if the game goes very late. Just that the way that LGD's built themselves up, the way they've been approaching the game, it feels like once they stop choking out EG, they just start losing. But it doesn't have to happen.
They've all ended at every opportunity.
Dire's middle
Like
tower
item decisions, movement decisions. Nothing has been defensive or careful. It's been planned. Everything's been planned and been a lot of sense to it. But LGD have just tried to brute time, and I think EG have, like you said, they're just outplaying, outthinking, outplaying, outmaneuvering in every single team fight since the mid-racks fell. Even before the mid-racks fell, they won that one team. LGD came rushing back down to try and regain what they had accrued over time.
LG have really been trying to force this kind of pseudo deathball approach, but I mean their heroes do allow for them to sit back and just go back to farming a bit more, I think. Certainly to a point. I mean, Ember Spirits and Lone Druid have so much scaling to do, even their supports have a lot of scaling to do. Yeah, they're gonna go for that next rush. It's gonna be an Aegis. I think this one has a cheese too, yeah. And if he wants, maybe he could finish an Abyssal Blade soon as well, which could be really big.
EG are not going to allow this. I mean, Universe, he's got them both! He's got them both! The Darkseer and the Shadow Shaman, some rolls are down. And Fear comes in with a finger of death. Easy, take out Arteezy on the side, blink in. Aegis picked up by the Lone Druid, and Sonic Wave comes across them both. Arteezy can battle through this with the Basher up even on him. He's ensnared, he's bashed, but he still gets the kill. Silent will fall, he will come back to life in a second. And he does have a bear still battling it out as well, but look at this! Mail, he's crushing them all. Gets a double kill, next kill streak for him up and running, and that's easy. The Manta Style from Maybe. He's got Remnants, he's got Slight, he's got the Mana Void on his head. Silas little bear. Silas little hero. Could chase down here. And that's Aegis gone. That's the potential for a game-winning push for LGD gone. And I feel like that was the fight where Arteezy just goes, they're gone. We've won this game. Have to try and hold out for a few more minutes.
Yeah, and by the way, Arteezy has buyback again. That's how long it's been. when he had to buy back his, well, he's got it in 10 seconds, which is, he essentially has it. The refresh orb on Sumail. Yeah, no, it's certainly anyone's game. Anyone's game to win. There's lots of ways this could go. MMY could finish his Ags, and we could still see some kind of cheese just forcing it. Maybe an Abyssal Blade out of Spirits, getting an important pick off. LGD could sit back and just get Lone Druid and Ember Spirit ready farmed. EG could take a big fight, and suddenly they're the ones doing their axing. I'm not too sure, but actually maybe he's picked up an Eagle song, so deciding now he wants to buy a Butterfly.
Easy basher. Look at this, Sumail, refresher. So Orchid twice, Shivas, BKB twice, Sonic Wave. Guess what? 2 of those as well. Blink forward, oh goodness gracious me, DDC. Heals yourself up, but yeah, you're gone. No buyback, a minute without your Lina. And LGD, they're scrambling. They are, look at them, scrambling, running across the map. RTK gets hookshotted, and this is where EG picked them apart one by one. The blade mail's up. Cogs not there for 3 seconds, but RTK's at the wall. He's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide, surges away. But Sumail silences him up. And I think, oh, RTK ticking. Charges. He's, he's healing. He's alive. Barely surviving.
LGD's draft just has so much catch. So there's certain positions they just completely exploit LGD. It started early on when LGD were trying to push and EG just jumped on them without them expecting it. And we saw that over and over, and here LGD split up on the map and
nice try. MMY, Serpent Water down, damage, but Glyph is there, and his TP was cancelled. Over towards middle lane, TP not in time, and they've got the Sonic Wave twice. Another blink away is what Sumail's going to be using there. BKB and
just barely escaping. That's pretty big actually if Sumail dies there. If MMY actually has an Ags and there's no Glyph, it might be a Rax, I think. I think that probably is a Rax. And he's not that far from his Ags. He's been... I mean, he's had these components for a long time, but he's only 400 gold away now.
Who has been the MVP for EG on your... oh my god, in your mind?
On my team.
On your team, yeah. Come on.
I would say Universe.
Okay, good.
I mean, it's difficult to say who's making those calls, but I feel like very early in the game, EG could have just lost the game at that like very early push mid where they first rebuffed LGD. And Universe just went in and made it happen. Went in the dark sphere, killed him before he could do anything. And he's kind of been the main one doing these initiations every time. And if you think about it, each time there's been a push where EG just have to go on LGD and pick off these supports before they do anything, it's usually Universe has to make the first move. If he misses that hook, suddenly they can't do it, and they just lose buildings. Now he's got an Axe, so missing hooks is something he can do, and he'll have more hooks, but he's only got an Axe now. So I think it's hard to appreciate at the time, but each time he's landed those hooks, it's actually been really important that he did land them.
What does maybe's item build do for him? Like he can man fight the anti-mage, right? This is never what we see from an Ember Spirit. He's always spamming out Slight Fist, cleaving through people, giving you that AoE presence. Here, it's actually kind of interesting to see the Ember built as man fight hero. Go toe to toe with the AM. I don't know how well it's going to work. Oh god, on lane, BKB. They've caught MMY. Guess what? He was up front again. Pays for it every time. Every time.
Yeah, and this is what's really worrying for me right now. We've gotten to the point where Spirit Bear dies very, very quickly. And all of a sudden, if you're Sylar, you're wondering, should I just put all the items of my hero? Because there's a lot of farm in that Spirit Bear, and anti-mage attacks it 5 or 6 times and it dies. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we've spoken at length about how Shadow Shaman shouldn't be in front. You're talking now about Ember Spirit's build. I think another reason to buy Butterfly is that you've invested in the Manta already. In terms of the pushing power and fighting power, Butterfly is one of the better items to make your images a bit stronger once you do Manta, so it's not just to debuff, you can actually attack things. And yeah, Universe is just talking creeps all the time now. Having some fun.
Look at the dire warding Roshan there.
Yeah, but that's I guess they're feeling very confident now. They're thinking the only way they're gonna lose this stage. Oh, I'm actually talking about EG. EG's thinking the only way they're gonna lose this stage is losing Rush, but
Oh, they've caught Tyler.
again.
He is trapped and he's forced back though. Good old wall there. Out from RTK, but maybe he's bashed, he's hexed, he's dead, he's gone, he's got no buyback.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Butterfly
I
means
think-
he has no buyback. Is the game just over now? They've got, like we've talked at length about their heavy pushing power, but how is their counter push? How is their push stopping power?
Dire's bottom
Yeah,
tower has fallen.
it's bizarre, this situation. I feel like for quite some time, for the last 15 minutes or so, LGD have very much been in the game still. But in some sense it feels like they've lost the will to live. They've just like,
Given
in
up
their
and
heads they're
accepted
just
their
like, yeah, we, like, plan didn't work, oh well.
hook shot from Mark. Fun for Universe anyway, but he does force RTK into the thick of things, over his own cogs and into death. Mel just flicks forward and he's going to secure a couple more kills here. MMY gone. Buyback from RTK. Try and push forward, but Sumail is just zoning them out. He's the shepherd, and LGD are the sheep. Back into your pens. Where you belong right now. PPD. Okay. Bash, root, bash, bash, dead. Great RNG there from the Spirit Bear.
Yeah, now that they've lost a bunch of axes, LGD's plan is a lot less clear. Let's assume they haven't lost the will to live, which I'm saying they have. I feel like they need to kill Arteezy or Sumail without buyback. I feel like they're now at that point. We're just, you know, trying to force a push or trying to win a fight in fair conditions. Not going to work that well for them.
Oh, when does Roshan respawn? That's going to be a big key factor here. Find out in a couple of seconds' time. Yeah, they've got no Serpent Wards for a good minute, 50 seconds. Oh, Roshan respawns very quickly, and there's your heart for the anti-mage. Abyssal Battle Fury. Panther, heart, and that BKB he bought a while back. He's also got 3,000 gold saved up, so money, tons of money.
MMY finally has Aghanim Scepter. I mean, he
Been a long
he was
time.
like 1,000 gold away for like the last 15 minutes. I mean, when I first mentioned that he was close to it, that was still when LGD felt like they were on the verge of winning the game. And it's strange to think, I mean, the way the game feels now, it's strange to think that this game was ever in that position where LGD were in control. But they were, very much so.
Like 25 minutes ago or whatever, when he started the Aghanim Scepter, they were pushing tier 3 bot, they were looking like they were going to take racks, and they were going to end the game. It was all so simple for LGD, and evil geniuses. I don't know, they had the script or something. They knew what was coming in Season 7, because LGD, they fall down the well and Lassie can't find them. Gold graph, net worth difference. It goes, completely swings from 8k LGD favored to 12,000 EG.
It was a really big call by Sumail at the start of the game, rushing that BKB. And I said I'd like an Ags, and you're mentioning the Orchid, but I think the BKB was absolutely crucial. Judging when that turning point would be, when they'd be forced to take that first fight, they knew that they'd try and stall, but they'd have to drop their outer towers. They'd have to fight when their axis finally got threatened. They needed to be ready to take that fight, and they were ready, and that kept them in the game for a while. I think even after staying in the game, it was still LGD's game. But a few more good fights where EG just completely outplayed them, and we're now at a point where LGD is on their last life.
Smoke expires and Universe, he's looking again. Observer will scout out every movement he makes. Always scouting out for these hook shots, and are LGD thinking about jumping in here? I know ROTK is. Everybody knows that ROTK is thinking about jumping in here, and he's
They're gonna go.
They're gonna go vacuum back into the wall. MMY hits the wall down. Universe has got in, but this is looking okay for LGD. They've lost a little bit of HP over on the dark side, but on the back end, Fear pounds into Starleft, forces him back and forces himself over the Baron to safety. As look at what Arteezy and Sumail are doing. Roshan dies, theft of the Aegis, and PPD picks it up. Dyer killed it, but EG got it. Maybe he's in the thick of things. Sumail breaks out just about. Back to life comes Dazzle. He's going to be able to grave up Fear. Well,
How
play from DDC.
has nobody died from EG?
What's going on? Everybody's on 20 health. Nobody's died yet, but there's one. Dazzle's dead. Clockwork's dead. But Arteezy's still in full fighting shape.
Arteezy's been regenerating with heart in small portions during this fight because he was on like 2 hits at some stage.
Oh, they're keeping back in. DDC. Yeah, you're screwed. Ember and the lone druid are the only ones left to the base.
Well, actually, I mean that was actually damn close. I mean, LGD actually got the rush. Imagine they got the Aegis. Imagine they finished off Arteezy at the start, or Sumail in the middle. It was actually really close. Daedalus on the Spirit Bear. My god.
Well, if they... Oh, no, they can't. Oh, yes, they can. MMY, Hex Jackal. They can kill Arteezy here, and it looks like they might just do it with a... Oh, okay. He's dead, right? Jackal is halfway through his duration. He's
dead.
100% dead. Maybe alive. Might escape.
So... Yes, now there's a chance for LGD to win the game. If they could somehow push quickly enough to force Arteezy's buyback and then kill him again. But that's a tall order. That's like, I don't know if they're even going to be able to push quickly enough to force him to buyback in the first place. Never mind, kill him again.
Noise of the shackles. The buzzing. It's glorious. Yeah. One kill doesn't mean a hell of a lot. What? Sylar is 10-8.
Yeah, he's on his namesake. He's on the Scylla Bear, the Sylar Bear.
He's godlike. His team are losing and he's godlike.
His creepy bear costume. I mean, how do you fight that? Just look at him waddling around. That's what it looks like, actually. It doesn't, like, I'm not convinced that's a bear. That's like a human in a bear costume, and that's why it's so creepy.
Look, you know what it is? It's Undying in a bear costume.
It's Undying in a bear costume.
Look at the way it walks. It's the arms. It's the dead arms that are just like by his side.
Yeah, it's so true.
It's Undying in a bear costume. Well, LGD, this is something they tried half an hour ago, and it's something they're going to try again. The old run down the middle lane strat and see what bloody happens.
I mean, the plan here is to get Arteezy to buy back and then run for the hills. If he buys back and they get quartz, they're in trouble, and that's gonna happen, by the way. There's so much catch. If he does buy back, the catch is going to happen.
Hook shot in. Actually caught with a vacuum wall. Ember Spirit jumps to the back. Antimage does buy back though. And then jumps Sumail. Killed off Darkseer. RTK is down and got the bearers. Look at the bear! It's dead. Straight up Roger. Sean is going to be off the mark there. The Serpent Water cleared up nice. Easy gold for them.
Actually, only RTK quartz. That's pretty good for LGD. He doesn't have buyback. I don't know if it matters. He's not going to take that long to respawn.
I mean, it's pretty good, but it's not game winning.
Well, they now have 6 minutes to kill Arteezy, and if they kill Arteezy in the next 6 minutes, they will probably win the game. And if they don't, they'll definitely lose the game.
Run down in the lane. Maybe has no mana left. He's got no Manta, no remnants. He's dead. Does he have buyback?
Yeah, he's got buyback. It's literally, it's can they kill Arteezy? Not like all dying in the process. If they do, can actually win the game. If they don't, they will have lost the game very soon.
To the land of the living. The universe, he's just getting vision, non-stop. Rocket flare, waiting.
Oh, Arteezy's hexed, but no follow-up.
Looks like he's okay for now. Lone Druid and Ember, they didn't go in for this. There's a change across the column, bashed up as well from the sleight of fist. And oh, RTK vacuum, but no wall! Universe just hooked straight on in, and they've caught a couple of them here with the Earthquake from Fear. They're screwed! Aghanim Scepter, Fear! Where the hell did you get that from? Ruins LGD with one click, one flick of the wrist.
Yeah.
And once
Arteezy's not going to be dying to see it.
Down to Ember and Lone Druid, I don't think they've got it in them. I don't think they've got the stones. They're going to go for it anyway.
But I'm godlike.
I'm godlike. Let me at him. He gets the ensnare over onto the tail, but at this point your bear's dead. You have resummoned. 10 seconds or so.
This was a peculiar game of Dota 2.
55 minutes of one team is winning for half an hour, and then the other team is winning for half an hour. Yes, the sudden swing kind of made it interesting. Game number 1, about an hour long. ENG take it. LGD had a crack though. They had a good old go. For the first 25 minutes, they literally had won the game. The game was over. Down to EG, down to Universe, those hook shots, the calls, the outplays in about half an hour. And after they lost that mid-racks. Going, they put the fire in their belly. But yeah, we'll have a short break, guys. We'll be back with game number 2 here in this best of 3.